messages for you.
What you can do for me is to get me water.
A bottle of water.
You also need to drink.
For today.
Your Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Siwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON, the National Chairman of our great party, Professor Nintawe Yewalda, the President of the Senate, His Excellency Senator Godswill Obot Akpabio, GCON, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, the Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, GCON, the Deputy President of the Senate, Senator Barao Jibrin, CON, the Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives, the Right Honorable Benjamin Carlo, CFR, the Deputy National Chairman North of our great party, Honorable Ali Buka Dalori, the National Secretary, Senator Surajuddin Ajibola Bashiru, PhD, the Chairman, Progressive Governors Forum, and Governor of Imo State, His Excellency Senator Hope Uzodimma, the Chairman, Nigeria Governors Forum, and Governor of Kwara State, His Excellency Alhaji Abdurrahman Abdurrazak, distinguished members of the National Working Committee of our party, Your Excellencies, Progressive Governors here present. In particular, I would like to especially recognize and welcome to this meeting today with us the Governor of Enugu State, His Excellency Peter Ndubisi Mba. Please, a round of applause for him. the Governor of Bayelsa State, His Excellency Doye Diri, the Governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Siminalayi Fubara, the Governor of Taraba State, His Excellency Dr. Abu Kefas, the leadership of the National Assembly caucus here present, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, our state chairmen who are here present, all non-NWC members of NEC who are here present, all special invitees, members of the press, good evening, and welcome to the 15th meeting of the National Executive Committee of our party. My name is Felix Morka, and I serve as the National Publicity Secretary of our party. At this time, we will take our opening prayer for this meeting, and I would like to invite for a Christian prayer His Excellency Abu Kefas of Taraba State.
We ask that those of us that have joined the leadership of this country, this party, you help us to add value to what they are doing. In this meeting today, we commit it into your hand. Bless us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you very much. May I now invite His Excellency Alhaji Suleiman Agungu, the National Organizing Secretary of our party, to give us the opening Muslim prayer.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the most merciful, may the peace of Allah and blessing be upon all of us. Ya Allah, we pray unto you to continue to support, guide, and protect our leader, the leader of our great party, the All Progressive Congress, the father of this nation, and the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, and all our leaders that are seated here today and those that are absent. Ya Allah, we pray unto you to shower your blessings and mercies to him, to our party, and to our dear country, Nigeria. Ya Allah, may you bring an everlasting peace, harmony, and prosperity to our dear nation. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin, kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim, wa barik ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin, كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد المجيد. اللهم إني أسألك الجنات، اللهم أجرني من النار، اللهم أحسن عاقبتنا في الأمور كلها وأجرنا من خزي الدنيا وعذاب الآخرة. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشاء عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا ما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Thank you very much. At this time, may I now invite our national chairman to begin this meeting formally. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, distinguished Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency, distinguished Senator Kashim Shettima, the Senate President, His Excellency Senator Godswill Akpabio, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, the Deputy Senate President, His Excellency Senator Jibrin Barau, the Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu, all the progressive governors here present, members of the National Working Committee, other members of NEC, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I'm deeply honored to formally address this August gathering for the first time after I was elected on the 24th of July, 2025. I want to start by sincerely thanking Mr. President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, as well as the leaders and members of the All Progressive Congress for the confidence reposed in me to serve this mandate with humility and strong sense of duty and unwavering commitment to serve this party. I've accepted the responsibility and I've taken upon myself to ensure that I commit my very best to the party and to the nation, and for the stability, good governance, national unity, and sustainability of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I promised, and I commit myself once again, that I work tirelessly, along with the National Working Committee, to ensure that the principle of our founding fathers is not lost. On behalf of NEC, I wish to extend our heartfelt condolences to His Excellency Governor Diri and the good people of Bayelsa on the passing of the Deputy Governor, Senator Lawrence Obora-Wareo. We share in your grief during this difficult time and the honor of the memory of the Deputy Governor, whose service and dedication to the people of Bayelsa will be remembered with deep respect. May the Almighty grant strength to the bereaved family, the government and people of Bayelsa to bear this irreparable loss. At this junction, dear distinguished members, the depth and breadth of our political parties' membership is determined by the strength that we have. In this regard, the leadership of our party has continued an aggressive and purposeful mobilization drive, reaching out to Nigeria across all walks of life, the rich and the poor, the young and the old, both men and women. Our objective still remains that we want to strengthen and galvanize the party structures at all levels, as well as enhancing our structural and strategic preparedness ahead of the next election cycle. We are not deterred by the few hallowed and shallow criticism of the opposition. We have become increasingly uncomfortable. They have become increasingly uncomfortable with our deliberate and principled effort to build a truly pan-Nigerian political party rooted in progressive politics. Recent political development clearly affirm the correctness of our vision. Everybody wants to be a member of APC. Notably, we have governors that have joined us, and amongst them are Governor Peter Mba of Enugu, Governor Diri of Bayelsa, Similai Fubura of Rivers, and Agbu Kefas of Taraba have formally defected to APC. All these governors did not come empty-handed. They're defecting along with their political structure from their former political parties. That has reinforced and made our party more formidable, more prepared, more well and prepared for election. Furthermore, the entry of the governor of Rivers and corresponding defection of the members of the House of Assembly of APC, now we control the 6 states of the South-South. This historic achievement makes the South-South the only zone in the Federation fully under the leadership of our great party. At the national level, the APC continues to enjoy a commanding majority in the National Assembly, both in the Senate and the House of Representatives. I warmly commend the leadership of the National Assembly for their effective evangelism of the party, which has attracted significant defection from the opposition. On the membership registration, the e-registration, distinguished members, we now have another significant milestone that we recorded during the period under review in the activation of the party's decision to digitize its membership records through the introduction of electronic membership registration system. The e-membership register will enhance transparency, will increase accuracy, efficiency, data integrity, and will help us in data-driven decision-making. While strengthening internal democracy, I'm also planning a mobilization also at the same time. It will help us to know the exact number of people that we have, and will help us to know we can estimate the minimum number of votes we can get in a state. In this regard, significant progress has been made in acquiring the necessary hardware and software, and in training down to the state level. And we expect that the state governments will take over from this stage and ensure that registration penetrates down to the last mile at the polling units. That, if done, will be enhanced by providing logistics and support to the structure at the state level to ensure that we have a quick end to the registration before the end of January. On the new office complex headquarters, which Mr. President challenged us on the 24th of July, that we should have a secretariat, a befitting secretariat, as the first challenge and the first demand that he gave to the National Working Committee. His Excellency, Mr. President, in conjunction with the progressive governors, have been able to acquire a new party office building, land, which we already have a CFO for it already, and relevant documents are available and completed and formally handed over to the party. We are currently awaiting the submission of architectural designs and engineering drawings to enable us to proceed to the next phase of development. But we can confidently tell you that we are ready, and Mr. President is giving us all necessary support, and we are working with the progressive governors to ensure that, possibly within a year, we have the national secretary of the party built and ready before the general election. We also make significant entry in the off-cycle election that was conducted on the 16th of August, 2025. We won out of the 17 constituencies that were available for tech in Adamawa, Kogi, Ogun, Niger, Anambra, Taraba, Kaduna, Edo, Jigawa, Kogi, Oyo, and Zamfara. We were able to take out, APC won 13 out of the 17. We are preparing for elections, the FCT elections, in February 2025. All preparation has been met. Committees have been set up, machinery for campaigns have been set up, and we await the nearest possible future to work along with other states that we're preparing for election in them. Especially, we've done primary election in Osun, and we've done primary election also successfully in Ekiti, and we're awaiting also that come 2026, we'll take over all that's available for tech in the FCT. We hope to also, we are prepared and oiled to win Osun and win Ekiti and win massively. In terms of party governance structure, our party governance structure distinguishes itself from any other political party. Distinguished members, we recall that the tenure of the executive committee at the ward, local government, state, and zonal levels was extended to 31st December 2025 by a resolution of the 14th NEC meeting held on the 24th of July 2025. However, in line with our constitutional obligations and commitment to internal democracy, the National Working Committee is proposing to organize congresses and national convention between February and March 2026. Given that the current National Working Committee terms will end in March 2026, this will enable the election of the new executive at all levels, including the national officers, ahead of primaries for the general election of 2027. Consequently, this NEC will be in receipt of the relevant resolutions for consideration and adoption at the appropriate time in the course of the meeting. We have also dropped with you a copy of the national report of the party, which the National Secretary has prepared, and you have it, the copy is in your receipt. If you check, this is in pursuant of Article 14.4 of the party constitution. The National Secretary has already prepared a written report of the activities of the party since December 2025, and a copy is with you for you to go through and make remarks and or make your observations to us if possible. In closing, respective party leaders, the APC remains the united, resilient, and forward-looking political party with strong hold and strong roots throughout the 6 geopolitical zone. I can proudly say that APC is the only political party that is found throughout the 6 geopolitical zones in terms of number of governors, number of senators, number of House of Reps, because if you look at the National Assembly, there are political parties that have no senator in some zones. They have no House of Reps in some zones, but APC can proudly say we have governors, we have House of Representatives, and we have senators in all the 6 geopolitical zones. We will consolidate and solidify our progress, and will continue to provide the Nigerian people with meaningful leadership, with their own unwavering support they are giving us. Before I conclude, allow me to reiterate that our party's steadfast support for the audacious and comprehensive reforms that Mr. President, administration is implementing. Your Excellency, we're in full support of what you are doing with the economy, with security, with education, and with all sectors of this country. We can proudly say that, Mr. President, you are doing exactly what the manifesto of APC stands for. On behalf of the National Working Committee and all members of the APC, I want to thank you for what you are doing for this country. In conclusion, let me thank the members of NEC for the support you've given the party in the last 1 year. And as we run 2027 to run another cycle of activity again, we look forward to your support for the party and for Mr. President and for the National Assembly also, so that the party will keep on working stronger and number will keep on increasing. Thank you, and God bless you. Your Excellencies and members of NEC, before you is the agenda for this meeting. I want a member to move that we should adopt this agenda for discussion. The governor of okay.
No, Mr. Chairman. I was just joking.
Okay, so let me call Senator Jibrin Barau to move for the adoption of this agenda for discussion.
Your Excellency, the leader of our party and the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I stand on all other established protocol. My name is Barau Jibrin from the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I stand to move that the agenda so distributed to you be adopted for this meeting. I so move.
And let me call the former governor to come and support the motion.
Your Excellency, my father, leader of the party, Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. My name is Mohammed Umaru Bago, farmer and governor of Niger State. I stand here to second the motion as moved by the Deputy Senate President. I so second.
The members in support that this agenda be adopted for discussion should say aye. And those against say nay. And I give it to the aye. The agenda is now ready for discussion. Let me call the secretary for the, let me call for the reading of the minute. Are we on the minute of the meeting? Page 1. Yes. Okay. Secretariat, please take note, page 1. Take note. Yes, Your Excellency. Noted. Still on page 1. Page 2. Page 2. Page, okay. Distinguished Senator. Your name is? Okay. Please, Secretary, take note. Page 3. Page 4. Page 5. Page 6. Page 7. Page 8. Page 9. Page 10. Page 11. Page 12. And page 13. Can somebody move a motion to adopt the minutes of the last meeting? Yes. Distinguished Senator.
Your Excellency, Mr. President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria,
Yes.
governors seated, distinguished senators, the national chairman of the party. My name is Senator Patrick C. Ndubweze. I was present at the last meeting, and having gone through the minutes of the last meeting, reflecting our deliberations as at then, I hereby move to adopt the minutes as correct. I so move. Thank you.
The leader of the Senate kindly second the motion.
Mr. President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellencies, distinguished members of the NEC, I, Michael Okpeyemi Bamidele, leader of the Nigerian Senate, and bona fide member of the APC and of this NEC, hereby rise to second the motion for the adoption of the minutes of our last meeting as amended. I so move. I so second. Thank you, sir.
So, matters arising from the last meeting is only one item, my election. And I was elected, I was sworn in, and I've been active in the office. So I think there's no any matters arising from the last. Now, having said that, let me give a preamble. In the last NEC, we considered and extended the tenure of what local government, state, and zonal executives for 6 months, which is supposed to end on the 31st of December 2025. The essence of this next motion is to extend the tenure of the executive for additional 4 months to enable us to conduct congresses between February and March. And this motion is to empower the NWC where we need to make necessary changes for NEC to empower us to make those necessary changes and then constitute the caretaker committees at what local government, state, and zonal level effective this January, effective 31st of December 2027. I'll call on the governor of Yobe, the governor of Gombe, to come and move the first motion. Your Excellency, Governor Inua Bawa. Yaya Inua.
Your Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, DCFR, our dear President, Excellencies, distinguished party members and NEC members, good evening all. Your Excellency and distinguished members of the National Executive Committee, I am Muhammadu Inua Haya, the Governor of Gombe State, from Jekadapari Ward in Gombe local government area of Gombe State, and hereby move the following composite motions pursuant to Article 13.3A, 2, which empowers the National Executive Committee to discharge all functions of the national conventions in between national conventions. That NEC approves the timetable contained in the schedule attached to this motion, which are 1, for the commencement and conclusion of the e-membership registration exercise. 2, for the conduct of ward, local government, state, and zonal congresses for the election of executive committees at those levels. 3, for the organization of national convention for the election of national officers and other associated members, provided that the National Working Committee shall exclude any state from the application of the timetable as relates to the conduct of ward, local government, and state congresses in appropriate cases. Mr. Chairman, distinguished members of NEC, I so move. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Let me invite the Governor of Delta, His Excellency Governor Sheriff Obodivoye. Let me not let me not follow His Excellency the Vice President in calling your name. Your Excellency.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Your Excellency, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a very dear leader, the chairman, distinguished members of the National Executive Committee, I, Right Honorable Eda Sheriff Oborewori of Oha Ward 3, Delta State, hereby second the composite motions ably moved by the Governor of Gombe. Mr. Chairman, distinguished members of NEC, I so second.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Those in support of this motion should say aye. And those against this motion should say nay. So the motion was overwhelmingly supported by NEC. I'll invite the DSP to take the second motion, Senator Jibrin Barau.
Your Excellency, the leader of our party and the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and all other members of this esteemed body, the neck of our party, I mount this podium to move the following motion. My name is Barau Jibrin. I come from Kabo Ward of Kabo Local Government in Kano State. And the motion reads as follows. I hereby move that the following motion pursuant to Article 13.3A, 2, which empowers the National Executive Committee to discharge all functions of the national conventions in between national conventions. 1, the National Executive Committee, NEC, approves and adopts A, the reconstitution of the Ward Executive Committees, Local Government Executive Committees, and State Executive Committees, whose tenures expired in August 2025 and were previously reconstituted as caretaker committees until 31st December 2025, to continue as caretaker committees at their respective wards, local governments, and states with effect from 1st January 2026. B, the tenure of the said caretaker committees shall lapse on the date of the swearing-in of the executive committees that emerge from the congresses conducted in accordance with the schedule attached to this motion. C, the National Working Committee shall constitute caretaker committees for any ward, local government, or states in deserving cases. Motion number 2, that the National Executive Committee, NEC, approves and ratifies A, the dissolution and reconstitution of the Cross River State Executive Caretaker Committee, with the Deputy State Chairman as State Chairman and other members of the dissolved committee as members of the Cross River State Executive Caretaker Committee with effect from 1st December 2025. B, that the tenure of the Cross River Executive Caretaker Committee shall lapse on the date of the swearing-in of the State Executive Committee that shall emerge from the State Congress. Mr. Chairman, Your Excellency, the leader of the party, and other executive members of our NEC, I so move.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Let me invite my friend and brother, the Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu, to second the motion.
Mr. President, the leader of our party, the father of the nation, the chairman of the party, and other members of NEC, kindly permit me to stand on the existing protocol. My name is Right Honorable Benjamin Okezie Kalu of Bende Ward in Bende local government area of Abia State. I hereby second the composite motion ably moved by Senator Jibrin Barau of Kobo Ward in Kobo local government area, Kabo local government area of Kano State. This motion has two arms to it. Number one has A, B, and C as highlighted by him. And number two has A and B. I stand firmly with this motion, and Mr. Chairman, distinguished members of NEC, I so second.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Those in support of this motion should say aye. And those against the motion say nay. So the nay are not here. Therefore, the meeting has adopted this resolution. For want of time, we are going to skip item 8 and 9. We'll skip item 8 and 9 on the agenda for want of time. And we'll jump to item 10. So on item 10, I'll invite the chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum for a brief remark. Your Excellency, can you come over for a brief remark on behalf of the Progressive Governors?
Your Excellency, Mr. President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, our great leader, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency, Mr. Vice President, distinguished Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON, the Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, National Chairman of our great party, Professor Natayo Yetelda, Your Excellency, the President of the Senate, distinguished Senator Goswill Ababio, the Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished members of NEC, I stand before you with due humility on behalf of the Progressive Governors Forum to welcome members of NEC and to congratulate our party for the journey so far. The Progressive Governors of Nigeria recall vividly that our country was in a state of comatose when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, took office in 2023. We also recall that the national covers were almost empty, with barely enough money to pay for 3 months' supply of food and medicine, and that trillions of naira were being wasted annually on a petrol subsidy scheme that mostly benefited the neighboring countries, while our roads, hospitals, and schools rotted from neglect. We all knew that decades of missed opportunities as a result of failure on the side of our leadership to take bold and necessary actions that led to the unsustainable economic quagmire. We recall that the situation was so dire that Nigeria was widely described as being in a state of coma and in urgent need of interventions in the form of far-reaching reforms. It was clear that only a sincere and intentional leader of steel with courage to implement policies that will make Nigeria take its right pride of place in the Committee of Nations was needed. And this would require abolishing the petrol subsidy and eradicating the currency racketeering that was bleeding the nation's economy to death, among other measures. We know that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, simply took the bull by the horn on May 29, 2023, as soon as he assumed office, and courageously rolled out the policies needed to salvage our fragile, dying national economy. We regret, honestly, that opposition elements have been trying to misrepresent the truth during the healing process that followed the visionary and transformative reforms of Mr. President, telling Nigerians that the reforms are designed to hurt the citizens. This is the height of hypocrisy. It is an irony that politicians who also contested elections to become the president of Nigeria, in their manifestos made promises to undertake the same reforms if elected into office. The same people are the ones now trying to weaponize the implementation of the policies in the name of opposition politics. We are glad that Mr. President has refused to be distracted. We are also glad that Mr. President's fire for fire approach to insecurity is bearing fruits. Specifically, the lightning-fast rescue of the kidnapped victims in Kebbi State, in Kwara State, and in Niger States, which stands in a sharp contrast to the painful past when victims languished in the forest for years, like the Chibok experience. We acknowledge that in Nigeria and all over the globe, reforms are being held by all patriots as the right way to go. It is a fact that through these microeconomic reforms, the President has triggered a number of initiatives that have ensured that states and local governments are now better funded, which in turn ensures that the renewed hope agenda with its democratic dividends reform, therefore, are taken to the grassroots. We commend the new era of swift action in tackling insecurity challenges head-on, such as the rejigging of the Security High Command and the declaration of an emergency on the security architecture. Also commendable is the directive to recruit thousands of additional personnel to strengthen the security forces for the protection of common man. You must have observed that fuel price has remained stable against the doomsayers who swore that petrol will hit 2,000 naira per liter, but it has stabilized around 700 naira for a very long time now. The market has been liberalized. The price will continue to go down. The headline inflation has also dropped from 34.8% in December 2024 to 14.5% in December 2025. The progressive governors are pleased that it is clear and self-evident that the President's reform are no longer theories, but have started translating to better living conditions for the ordinary man. Visible with our own eyes in the market, inflation is receding significantly. Food prices are going down today compared to the prices of food by this time last year. Your Excellency, we the progressive governors commend you for being a true Democrat who believes in true fiscal federalism. Under your watch, all the extra accruing revenue to the federal government is being made available to states and local governments. Transactions on revenue in the oil and gas sector has been transparent. The fight against crude oil theft has intensified, as well as in the solid minerals. grassroots empowerment through world-based development programs to boost domestic production has been launched. Indeed, the progressive governors are happy with Mr. President for demonstrating confidence in us at all times, especially through your recent decision to trust us with the ambassadorship of his renewed hope agenda and to undertake advocacy of party outreach to the grassroots. Distinguished members of NEC, our savings are back. We now have increased money in our foreign reserves to defend our currency, meaning that we are no longer living hand to mouth anymore. The Naira is standing tall. The white gap that existed between official exchange rate and the black market is dead. The days of needing to know a big man to get dollars from CBN are over. Now, legitimate businesses can plan their future. But we are alarmed that having lost the argument on the economy, detractors have resorted to importing lies, including the shameful fabrication of a Christian genocide, a falsehood so dangerous that even the head of the Catholic Church, Pope Leo XIV, debunked it, stating that the violence we face in Nigeria is criminal. We commend Mr. President for the courage to take the difficult but necessary decisions that rescued the national economy and saved Nigeria from becoming a failed state. We therefore urge the President to keep his foot on the gas, ignore the noise of those who want us to return to the era of free money and fake exchange rates, and focus on rebuilding the real economy. We declare that we will not allow anyone to use religion or ethnicity to divide this country. We urge Mr. President to take all necessary steps to defend and protect our democracy, which desperate politicians and sore losers want to truncate at all costs. We want to assure you, Mr. President, of our unflinching support in the fight against insecurity, with a firm promise to cooperate with the federal government to fish out and expose all those who may be hiding under politics at the subnational levels to fan the embers of insecurity. We want to reinstate our earlier motion of implicit confidence on Mr. President at the beginning of this year, and which we repeated during our political summit. And we want to urge you, Mr. President, that we at the progressive governors will not relent. We are now 28, meaning that out of 36 states, we have 28 governors. APC is now a beautiful bride, and we are ready to marry more wives. Your Excellency, do not relent. Continue with your reformative and transformative economic policies that are now manifesting in a better national economy and improved living conditions for Nigerians until the economy is fully recovered and the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President completely realized. Our job as members of All Progressive Congress is to take the message to the commonest man on the street, to take the message of improve the economy to the last man on the street, to take the dividends of this reformative government to the grassroots. If we don't say we are, nobody will say that we are. So we should be our own salesmen, and we should always continue to encourage and support Mr. President. Therefore, the Progressive Governors Forum hereby resolves to reiterate our earlier commendation of Mr. President this year at the last NEC meeting and the last political summit of our party. Because we can now say it more, being that our numbers have increased to 28, and we have more cogent and vibrant reasons evident enough to say so. We therefore rise to move a vote of implicit confidence on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR to continue to make us proud and be the president and deliver the promises he has always made. I so move this motion. And I crave your indulgence to invite the governor of Kaduna State to come forward and second this motion on behalf of progressive governors. Thank you, and may God bless all of us.
Your Excellency, Mr. President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, Your Excellency, Mr. Vice President, distinguished Senator Kashin Shettima, the National Chairman of our great party, permit me to stand on the well-established protocol. My name is Senator Ubasani, Governor of Kaduna State, Vice Chairman of Progressive Governors Forum. I rise to second the motion as ably moved by our Chairman, the Governor of Imo State and Chairman of Progressive Governors Forum, for the vote of confidence on our President, our leader, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I so second. Thank you.
Your Excellency, Mr. President, distinguished members of NEC, if it is the view of NEC members that this motion be carried, those in favor say aye. Aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. May God bless all of us. Thank you.
His Excellency, the chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, has added another concept and also ideology to the existing ideologies of APC, that we can now marry more wives. That's bringing in more governors to the fall of APC. Let me thank you for those reassuring words by the governors and the support also are given to Mr. President. But let me just add this. For emphasis, the e-registration should be emphasized by the governors, driven down to the ward level, fast-track as much as possible, provided with logistics, and also members in any way should not be restricted by any reason. No groups, no blocking of anybody from participation in the registration. All members, everybody, without godfather, with godfather, the least person in the party, should have access to this registration without any form of restriction. And NWC will monitor all the states to ensure that nobody is restricted, nobody is stopped, nobody is orchestrated by anybody in any way from registering to be a member of the APC. On that note, let me invite in the state where we have no governors, the state party chairman will be held responsible for the working of the registration. And letters have been written to all the governors and all the state party chairmen in that respect. On that note, let me invite the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, to give us a brief remark on behalf of the House of Representatives.
Your Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, distinguished Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu, Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, distinguished Senator Kashim Shettima, the uncommon Senate President, my dear brother, distinguished Senator Godswill Akpabio, the national chairman of our great party, Professor Nawe, Excellencies, governors of our great party from all APC states, members of the National Assembly here present, members of NWC, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, very good evening to all of us. I'm honored to address this National Executive Committee meeting, not only as Speaker of the House of Representatives, but as a committed party man who believes deeply that political parties are the backbone of democratic governance. Parties win election. Institutions deliver outcomes. History judges us on whether we successfully connect the two. At the outset, let me place on record the appreciation of the House of Representatives for the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR in a period of profound economic adjustment and inherited structural constraints. Mr. President has demonstrated resolve, clarity of purpose, and confidence in democratic institutions. The reforms have been difficult but necessary, with legislature working to stabilize them through law, oversight, and representation. In mature democracies, reform relies on legislative partnership, which this administration has deliberately fostered. From the perspective of the House of Representatives, Nigerians are not asking abstract questions about the separation of powers or party supremacy. They are asking practical questions. Is the cost of living easing? Is insecurity being addressed? Are the opportunities expanding? Are public institutions working? These questions do not arrive labeled executive or legislative. They arrive simply as expectations of government. This is why I describe governance as a contract between our party and the Nigerian people. The manifesto sets the promise. Elections grant the mandate. Institutions enforce delivery. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to share a few facts from the empirical record of the 10th House of Representatives. They matter because parties that govern successfully measure themselves honestly. Between June 2023 and June 2025, the House processed 2,263 bills. Of these, 237 were passed. 68 have already received presidential assent, the highest of any president since 1999 at the two-year point. Crucially, almost 80% of enacted laws originated from private members' bills. Efficiency has also improved markedly. More than 1/3 of all bills were passed within the first 100 days. Nearly 70% were completed within 300 days. Compared with previous administrations, these represent a cultural shift toward discipline, planning, and prioritization in lawmaking. Oversight has followed the same trajectory. Committees of the House have conducted investigative hearings, performance audits, and sector reviews that have led to the recovery of mismanaged public funds and improved compliance by ministries and agencies. Oversight is often misunderstood as confrontation. In reality, it is quality control for governance. It protects the credibility of the party by correcting failures early before they metamorphose into public crisis. Representation has also evolved. The annual National Assembly Open Week has been institutionalized. Constituency engagement has become more structured. The House has expanded dialogue with women, youth, and persons with disabilities, and has advanced the reserved seats for women initiative as part of a broader effort to deepen inclusion. These are deliberate attempts by the House to rebuild trust in democratic institutions. I share these facts not for self-congratulation, but to make a larger point to this neck. Governing parties that succeed treat delivery as a collective enterprise. They align party leadership, executive action, and legislative output around a shared program that citizens can see and feel. Distinguished colleagues, allow me to turn directly to the question of party unity. At our caucus meeting yesterday, I made a point that bears repeating at this neck. Today, the All Progressive Congress is not the same party it was in 2015, or even 2019 or 2023. We are a governing coalition that continues to grow. We have founding members who build the party through sacrifice. We also have new members who have joined us because they see the APC as the vehicle of national stability and progress. Managing this balance between old and new members is now a strategic imperative. If not handled with sensitivity, fairness, and institutional discipline, it can lead to fragmentation. Fragmentation is a luxury the party cannot afford as we look towards 2027. Cohesion does not mean uniformity. It means inclusion, respect for contribution, and clear rules that bind everyone equally. NEC has a critical role in ensuring that integration is deliberate, grievances are addressed early, and party structures remain authoritative. From comparative experience in advanced democracies, parties lose power not primarily because of opposition strength, but because of internal disorganization and unresolved factionalism. Unity, therefore, is not a slogan, it is a system. This is why I respectfully propose 3 practical steps for our party. Number 1, we should institutionalize a simple APC governance delivery dashboard, a quarterly snapshot that tracks cost of living indicators, security outcomes, job creation initiatives, and key social interventions. Not for propaganda, for internal discipline. Parties that govern well measure themselves honestly before the public does it for them. Second, we should formalize a legislative executive program grid, a clear mapping between our manifesto commitments, the bills before the National Assembly, and the budget lines that fund them. This ensures coherence. It prevents policy drift. It allows our candidates and our officials to speak with one voice across all levels of government. Third, we must strengthen our internal democracy without weakening our governing capacity. Disagreements are inevitable in a large coalition like ours. What matters is process, clear rules, timely dispute resolution, respect for party organs. In mature democracies, parties lose not because they disagree, but because they allow disagreements to become public disorder. Candidate quality also deserves urgent attention. Weak candidates do not merely lose elections, they undermine governance and erode party credibility. Training, ethical standards, and basic policy literacy should be seen as national assets, not optional extras. As we prepare for the next phase of governance and electoral competition, let us remember that Nigerians are watching less what we say and more what we deliver. The All Progressive Congress must remain a party that wields power and earns trust, a party that governs with discipline, a party that sees institutions not as obstacles, but as instruments of national renewal. I thank Mr. President for his leadership. I thank the national chairman and all members of NEC for their stewardship of our party. And I reaffirm the commitment of the House of Representatives to work constructively, responsibly, and transparently in service of our shared mandate. Thank you all. God bless the All Progressive Congress. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you, Excellency, for those reassuring words to NEC. Let me invite the uncommon Senate President to give us an uncommon brief remark on behalf of the Senate. Your Excellency, distinguished Senator Godswill Pabio.
Thank you. Your Excellency, the President, Commander-in-Chief, Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Your Excellency, the Vice President, our own Kashim Shettima, my brother, the Right Honorable Speaker, the National Chairman, our governors, members of NEC. Just before I came up here, Mr. President enjoined me to be brief. In other words, I should not speak for more than 30 minutes. So, Mr. President, remember I'm a lawyer, and in the law school, they always teach us that an after-dinner speech must be like a woman's skirt, long enough to cover the subject matter, but short enough to be interesting. So I'll take this like an after-dinner speech. I want to, on behalf of the Senate, adopt all the speeches delivered at this NEC meeting. So I join to welcome both the old and the new members of NEC. I adopt the speech of the National Chairman. I adopt the speech of the progressive governors. I also adopt the speech of my partner, the Right Honorable Speaker. National Chairman, you make them available so that I will use the speeches as working document for discussion on Tuesday in the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But on a cursory look, I must say that we have grown as a party. I must say that, yes, indeed, the party and the National Working Committee members are doing well. I want to say congratulations to all of you. I want to also join to welcome all the new governors and to say that, yes, indeed, the governors did not come alone. They came with the structures in their various states. So I also welcome those structures who are not opportune to be here today. I want to enjoin the party to do everything possible to realize that democracy is all about the National Assembly and, of course, the executive. In other climes where democracy is not practiced, you will notice that they will have executive and they will also have the judiciary. But whenever you have a democracy, National Assembly becomes paramount and therefore needs to be consulted. So whilst I applaud the APC governors for their strides, I just want to appeal that you carry along the National Assembly members the House of Assembly members in your various states. I hope this is not too much of a demand. They are the closest to the grassroots. Mr. President, we feel strongly that the vote of confidence once again reposed in you by the APC governors. We share in that in the National Assembly. So we say that we have confidence, implicit confidence in your capacity, in your clarity of purpose, and your ability to navigate the very difficult terrain to take Nigeria to the next level. So we say congratulations so far for a job well done. And on that note, Mr. President, I will say that from the National Assembly, particularly the Senate, we will not fail you. We will not fail our party. We have so far not failed you. We have so far not failed our party. Every bill, every request, we have tried to make sure that we meet them timely for you to move ahead, to change this country from where you met it. Congratulations to all of us, and may God guide our party, and may God not allow us, because of our new size, to self-implode. May we take actions that will carry along the grassroots and improve the living standards of all Nigerians. And may our children who are seeing insecurity today, may they not see again in future. May God give you the enablement as President of Nigeria to continue to take swift actions, both in the economic sector and in the security sector, to salvage this country. But so far, you have given hope to those who had no hope. Nigeria was at the crossroad when you came, but things are looking up. Your reform agenda is working. And then, of course, we who are behind you to craft the laws are ready to continue to do so. Mr. Chairman, we are going to tinker with the Electoral Act. We will finish that before the end of January, so that as you go into your congresses, you have a clear timeline of which you will do your primaries for the next election. We will not allow the president to be a president without ministers, because primaries are held 10 to 12 months before the general election. So we are looking into that, and with the advice and assistance of the president, we'll soon get back to the party. So congratulations for the new members, particularly our governors. And in fact, for me, as a Senate president and a son of the South-South, I say congratulations to the South-South and the other zones, because so far, I can see everything turning around. May God bless all of us.
Your Excellency, the uncommon Senate President, and those reassuring words, I think from the National Assembly, the words are so reassuring for both Mr. President and the party. And from the governors also, the words are so unshakable. These are good times for the party, the governors, the National Assembly, the members of the party are giving Mr. President assuring words. And on that note, I want to invite the Vice President. The President asked me to invite the Vice President to come and give a brief remark before the President will give his own remark. Thank you, Mr. Vice President.
Your Excellency, our leader, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the uncommon Senate President, the Right Honorable Speaker, and I want to weaponize the Governor of Imo State, Onwa Hob Odidika Uzodima, and the Governor of Kwara State, plus my very good friend, Elder Francis Sharif Oboborewoy to appreciate and celebrate all our governors here. And of course, I want to single out for special recognition 3 elder statesmen here. Aremu Olusegun Oshoba is 86 years old. He is here with us. Baba BC Akande is 87 years old and will turn 88 on the 13th of January next year. He is here with us. And former Senate President Chief Ame Ebute is 79 years old, and he has been here. And he has been a loyal party member. And of course, there is someone that has become my in-law, former Senate President Ahmed Ibrahim Lawan, whom during the electioneering season, I had routinely lambasted, but he kept a stoic silence. So thank you for your patience and understanding and your tolerance. My speech will be very brief. The Gettysburg speech, one of the most famous speeches ever spoken, was just 272 words by Abraham Lincoln. Politics reward memory, and today, memory must begin with gratitude. Before we speak of maps and margins, we must acknowledge the singular role of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in building the very culture of opposition that brought us here. Long before power came calling, he stood when it was unfashionable to stand, organized when it was dangerous to organize, and funded democracy when silence was safer. Nigeria's opposition did not survive by accident. It survived because one man refused to surrender the political space. Let me say this plainly and with a smile. The APC is fortunate that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not in opposition today. He's the kind of fighter you pray never stands across the ring from you twice. His experience is not just history, it is the armor of this party, forged in resistance, sharpened by survival, and perfected by victory. In 2015, we won 21 states because Nigerians believed in change and because our coalition was disciplined. In 2019, we retained power with 19 states, learning that incumbency protects but does not persuade. In 2023, we won the presidency with 12 states. But as we look towards 2027, one truth stands above all others. Defections follow confidence. And confidence today flows from the trust in the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. People do not cross over because of slogans. They cross over because they trust judgment, they trust courage, and stay in power. They know that our president understands opposition, understands power, and understands how to keep pace with those who take political risk. In 2003, 2 APC ANPP governors were brought joined into submission and were forced to join the PDP. And our governors, opposition governors in the Southwest, went to sleep. Only one man was awake, and the PDP regime machine overran the whole of the Southwest. But today, it's a different ball game. We are 28 states strong. Only a fool hell-bent on a suicidal path or an outright imposter can dare to challenge President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027 election. But we are in a democracy, and people are free to contest elections. But elections are not won by noise or nostalgia. Elections are not conducted, to borrow the words of Obasani, elections are not conducted on Facebook or on Twitter. They are won by coalitions, credibility, and conviction. With the experience of our president as our shield and the lessons of the past as our guide, I believe that 2027 is not a gamble. It is a responsibility, and by the grace of God, we shall have a rendezvous with destiny. It's my singular honor and privilege to cherish forever to invite our leader, the single kinetic presence in Nigeria's political firmament, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to deliver his remarks. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Please be seated. Thank you. The national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, APC, the vice president, president of the Senate, speaker of the House of Representatives, chairman and members of Progressive Governors Forum, all the governors that are present here, members of National Working Committee, secretary to the government of the Federation, state party chairman of our party, honorable ministers here present, other party officials, distinguished members of the great party of the continent, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor for me to stand before you this evening, full of joy, pride. Pride that we have 28 states. Pride that we are the largest growing party on the continent. We are not just the person saying so. Internationally acknowledged. They are talking to us. They know what we have achieved, and they are watching us. Democracy is a must. And this country is the heart of the continent. So what you represent is very significant and has a meaning for the continent. It is in your hand. I, as one leader, must say thank you very much. Listen to the vote of confidence from the Governor General. Listen to the party chairman. Listen to the vice president. Listen to the speaker. Listen, the honorable speaker. Listening to the Senate president. It is encouraging to just stand here, say good night, and we go to sleep. But our job is not done. We must continue to remind ourselves what the data means for us. God got us here. I am a symbol of that God. Because without him, I won't be here. I can say the governor of Yobe and many of his colleagues and partners, they knew the obstacle on my way. Obasani can testify to that. There was a wide bush fire. The currency redesigning. The queue at the petrol station. Called that people died, not able to have 1 meal a day because of lack of money. Just for one election. So, if you are truly a believer in God's job, in God's work, let us thank God. Let us be faithful to our words. We must continue to be resolute that this democracy that we take in our hands must not fail. To me, we say we are bigger, yes, we are larger, and we are taller. But it is in our hand now to be accommodating. That's the only way we can be resilient, be tolerant, move a little bit. Okay, if you have a huge living room as big as this, create a little bit of room for your neighbor who is outside or who is just coming in. The rain that is driving that neighbor will not beat that neighbor dead. Will only be soaked and wet, but you may need their heart of warmness and prayer. Accommodate them. Take that seriously. Be resilient. The state and the world level is my concern. Don't you want to be, you want to lead the state or impose their will and all of that? It's my fear now. And there's no need. God creates that opportunity for individual. And if God says you will be there, I am a symbol of that. God says you will be there. So if you take it from me, no regrets. If you emulate it and continue to pray, if you listen to yourself, because there will be moments that you'll be quiet and thinking alone, and you tell yourself the truth. Leading a very, very big party like this will not be a joke. We are all in the basket of can-do, and we must drive this vehicle gently and carefully. So I've addressed the state, the local government, and world level. Just be expandable. Help. And we can easily, rely on the existing governors. But what about the states where we have no governors? The party must be careful, vigilant, and must be ready to produce governors. And if you don't do that structure, if the structure is not right, you won't be able to produce the governor. The law of diminishing return will follow you. So, like I said yesterday, now that you have your elections at the local government level, you are the supervisors, the vigilators, the INEC, and everything of the local government. You elected them. Nobody help you, the governors. So since you elected them, it means you know them. You are responsible for their survival. But the Supreme Court has capped it for you again, saying give them their money directly. So if you wait for my executive order, because I have the knife, I have the yam. I will cut it. Before FAC, we do the arithmetic, we know the percentage, and I've sent it to their account. I'm just being very respectful and understanding with my governors. Otherwise, if you don't start to implement it, fact after fact, you will see the ultimate goal is our Supreme Court. We have to comply. We have to respect the judgment. The state police, I mentioned it yesterday to the caucus, and National Assembly today. Please summon the IG and start looking at the ramification and which way to institute controls and prevent abuses. We are going for state police. We will do the forest rangers. We will arm them. We will defeat those terrorists and bandits. We must. We must. I listened to the chairman on the e-registration. Allow it. Don't elbow, don't shut the door against the people. If you are in charge now, if you fail to do so, we will take it away. We know how to do it. We will do it on your behalf. we will do it on your behalf. That leadership failure on your own part, if you abuse the trust. So please, don't let us joke with it. We have a need for that e-registration. Well, next should be, I congratulate farmer in Niger State. I saw the program where he has all the deputy governors, a vice chairman as women. He did. All the chairmen in the state are women. And then you should please emulate that and work on bringing more women to the neck and encourage more women. I commend the National Assembly for their effort on the amendment to the Constitution for women's accommodation. We are in support of that. But what I want you to forget is a centralized lotto. Go and read the Constitution again. It's a residual matter where my exclusive legislative capacity as the president starts and ends. Residual matter belongs to the exclusive legislative matter of the state. Don't tread near it. There's no need for us to argue. I'm a constitutional Democrat. Lottery, lotto, lotto law, centralized lotto, gaming, or whatever it is. We are in the same party, you are members of National Assembly. I read it, and as it was coming, I won't sign it. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Please, can you take your seats? Okay. Thank you, Mr. President. I now see the reason why the Vice President said that it's better you have Mr. President on your side when it comes to democracy. Visibly, Your Excellency, I saw it today. This evening was just an explicit moments that I could see the reason why we are grateful that we have you on our side this time around as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you, Your Excellency, and God bless you. Having discussed and exhaust most part of the agenda, I want to call the governor of Ondo to come and give us good luck. The lucky governor to come and move a motion for us to adjourn the meeting. Your Excellency.
I acknowledge
our president and our leader, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, the vice president, senate president, right honorable speaker, and all excellencies, governors, and members of the National Executive Committee. Having exhausted all the items on our agenda for today's meeting, I hereby move the motion for the adjournment of this next meeting synod. I so move. Thank you.
Let me invite the former national chairman of the party, distinguished Senator Oshomole, to come and second the motion.
Mr. Chairman, Your Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, and the leader of our great party, and the father of the nation, Your Excellency, the Vice President, Your Excellency, the Senate President, the Speaker, Your Excellencies, the governors, the Governor Generals, 2 Governor Generals, and all the other governors here present, past and present, distinguished senators, ladies and gentlemen, excuse any breach of protocol. My name is Adams Aliu. I now add Eric because Father Kuka said I must always emphasize that. Oshomole. I come from Ward 10 in Isako West of Edo State. I rise to second the motion that was ably moved to the effect that having exhausted all the matters of the agenda, I rise to second the motion that this next in session adjourned sine die. I so second, sir.
Thank you, Excellency. So those in support of the motion that we shall adjourn this session of NEC should say aye. Aye. And those against should say nay. We should continue, but I give it to the ayes. Let me call the National Public Secretary to call out some members of the NEC for closing prayer. 1 Christian, 1 Muslim for a closing prayer.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Your Excellency, please permit me to acknowledge and thank the INEC delegation for their presence at this meeting. In closing, may we invite